Okay, I start record. So all the lecture will be recorded and posted on YouTube later on. So when you log into Blackboard, you will see we have the course content announcement. So the announcement we have is going to be the major changes is going to be remote, and we have online teaching. Pretty much gonna be throughout the whole semester. So to accommodate that change, I organized the course content on a weekly basis. So you can see we have starting from week 11. So every week we have about one chapter, and we do have some assignment. So the assignments typically start on Monday and due on Sunday midnight. Okay, this is the announcement about the weekly changes, schedule changes. And another announcement is about the Zoom. So I'm going to use Zoom for telecommunication and today and going on forward. So the Zoom meeting is limited to 40 minutes. So that's why I put the time starting from 12 to 12:40. So we're gonna teach it pretty efficient. So all the lecture notes I will post and upload on Blackboard, and also I'll record the contents and post on YouTube. If you experience some difficulties to get internet, so I have the link here, so you can read some information about how to get free internet. Okay, so any questions?
No.
Okay, good. Okay, so now we go to the course content. Okay, see, we organized that week 11, so this is March 23rd to 29. So in this week, we study chapter 9, interest rate risk. Okay, this is lecture notes. And so we continue to do the forum, which is discussing at the beginning of this semester. Remember, we talk about you need to read Wall Street Journal and 2 articles, and also the video and podcast from Center of Christianity in Business. And there are some of the other discussing questions. So I would like you to discuss the, while you study. So the discussing questions are basically from this chapter 9 and 10. So those questions are the end of the chapter questions. So, okay, so you post some discussion in this week. Okay, that's what you call initial thread. The initial thread, it should be around like a 250 to 300 words. And the second, next week, reply to other students, make at least 2 replies. And the purpose is we wanted to have all the students interact with each other, okay, to get a good communication through the platform we have on Blackboard. So the lecture I'm going to do is mainly focus on the difficult part of each chapter. So I will show you how to solve those questions. For example, in chapter 9, so we talk about the duration, okay, the duration convexity. So so every week we are going to use some financial modeling skills and applied it to Excel spreadsheet. Okay, and so as to the students' question about the textbook, okay, some of the students might, you know, leave their textbook in the dorm, or they couldn't get access to their materials. So this is I post a electronic version of the textbook. So it's so you can click on the link. So you download that PDF file. Okay, this PDF file is the textbook. And also I upload the updated syllabus for this week and in the week until the end of the semester. Okay, so that's all the information I'm talking about. As okay, so far you have any questions?
No.
Okay. Okay, so good. So and so the course content, remember, so we have some assignments and discussing questions until Sunday midnight of March 22nd. So we just finished module 1 and module 2. The module 1 and 2 we finished, but we haven't started module 3 and 4. Okay, so the module 3 and 4 we change the format on a weekly basis. So from your side, you might not see this anymore. So I reorganize those, but it doesn't mean, okay, it doesn't mean so you cancel all the assignment from the previous 2 modules. So you still need to work on the module 1 and 2 and to finish everything, okay? And so the deadline is March 22nd. So if you haven't done so, or you have not completed everything, I encourage you to catch up in this week. So everything you need to complete, okay, module 1 and 2.
Sure.
Yeah. So is we have you know, sometimes we have a grace period and just let you know. And so this week is the last week you have to catch up everything in module 1 and 2. Okay. And what I'm talking about today, so I wanted to go over some of the questions about the we learned from module 2 today. And so you can see we have a this one, which is your forum question. And also you have the assignment, right? Assignment. So when you click on this about the assignment, okay. Do you have any question about this assignment?
No.
Hmm? Okay, so everybody already submit this?
Yes, sir.
Okay, good. So we talked about the call option pricing and the put option pricing using one step and a two-step model, right? One steps and two steps model, and how to calculate the price of a call option and put option. So I wanted to emphasize that Okay, so for a coal option, okay, for coal option, it doesn't matter it is European coal or is American coal. Okay, the price will be the same. Okay, coal option price for European coal option and the American coal option, the price will be the same. Okay, for example, we have this question, question 1. Use a two-step tree to value a not a European coal, we change it to American coal. Okay, so your solution is supposed to be the same for problem 1. And so for problem 2, okay, use a two-step tree to value a European put option. Okay, if I change it to American put option, do you think the price will be the same or no? So anyone can answer that question? Yes or no?
No.
Yes. Okay. No. Okay. If you do the put option, American put option, the question is that the solution is supposed to be the American put option is higher. Okay. So if you calculate American put option, that price will be higher. Remember that when you go back to the first step, okay, so you have to choose which one is higher of that the node in the first step. Okay, so that's make the solution different. Okay, so be careful with the put option when you have American put option or it's a European put option. Okay. Okay, today we talk about the option pricing model. So we did before, and remember you have discussing question talking about the black shoes. Okay, black shoes option pricing. So I will upload this question on the Blackboard is for you to know. We need to do is the black shoes option pricing model. Okay, so what is black shoes option pricing? Okay, black shoes option in 1983, 73, black and the shoes developed the black shoes option pricing model. That is that the main thing is that this one they assume that it's not only two steps. So remember, so we have the price maybe $30, and then you go, okay. Okay, so remember that we talked about the price could go up to 33 or go down to 27, right? And then you go next step, you go 36 and 28, and then you go 25 or whatever. Okay, you go down and then you go, could be go another steps, okay? And so it's going to be, so more steps, 2 steps, 3 steps, and forward. So you have many, many steps. Okay, what the contribution of black and shoes is that they assume that steps can go infinite, okay? So in that case, they have to make some assumption. So basically, they assume that the the stock price will follow some of the basic distribution. Okay. So when you read the textbook, you will see that this is gonna be how you're gonna value this. Okay. So the deviation of the Black-Scholes model rests on the concept of a riskless hedging. So this is the value. Okay, is going to be using this formula. So I will post this file in Blackboard because some of the students, they have question about chapter 7. Okay, this is the calculate the D1, okay, and normal distribution, how you calculate the value. And this is the D2. Okay, D1 and D2. So in this equation, and the V is the value of the option, and the P is the current price of stock, and the ND1 is the area beneath the standard normal distribution corresponding to D1. And the X is the strike price. So you might curious what is the ND1, right? The ND1. So ND1, you don't have to do it manually. So in Excel, so later on we'll talk about this, and Excel can handle this question very convenient using the norm stist function. And the RF is the risk-free rate, okay? And T is the time to maturity. So all those notations we have in that formula has explanation, okay? And then we have ND2 is the area beneath the standard normal distribution corresponding to D2. So D1 and D2 basically is, you can consider that as a Z-score, okay? And the sigma is the volatility of the stock, okay? Remember, so we talk about the price, we have the U up factor. Okay. This is the up factor. And we have the D, which is the down factor. In that, in one step or two step binomial model. So the up factor, we took a 1.1, that's why 30 times 1.1 equals 33. When you times the up factor and the down factor, they're supposed to be equal to 1, okay? Or you see the up factor is the inverse of the down factor. Okay, up factor we use 1.1 and the down factor will be 0.8. So, but the difference is that in that Black-Scholes model is we do not have the up and down factor anymore. Did you see that? Do you see any up, U and D? Right, it's no up factor and down factor, right? So what you have is the volatility of the stock. So instead we have the sigma, okay? That's the difference. So we have sigma instead. Okay. So the sigma is the volatility. The volatility is associated with the up and down factor. So later on, I will tell you how they are related. Okay, so when you have the all the inputs, and so you can type the value for each notation. So you have, okay, for example, the current price, strike price, risk-free rate, and the time to maturity, and this is the sigma, which is the volatility. Okay. The first step you solve for D1. Okay, remember, so how you got a D1? D1, you have to use this formula. Okay, this is the D1. Okay, look at the D1. That's how you do the formula. Use that formula to calculate D1. Okay, and also use, you can calculate D2. Okay, what is D2? D2 is the, using this formula, using D1 minus the sigma times square root of time t. Okay, so that's how you get a D2. Okay, once you have the D1 and D2, okay, what you need to do is that you use the function, it's called norms dist, okay, equal to norm dist. Yeah, when you see norms dist, you can see they ask you for z value. So what is z? So you have a question about the z, which is that's the D1. Okay, so you just type that. Okay, that's what is this one? This is called N D1. Okay, and the norms dist for this one we call N D2. Okay, that's N D2. So you can get to the N D2. Okay, that's how the numbers are coming out, ND1 and ND2. And once you have the ND1 and D2, and this is the formula we talk about, okay? So ND1 times the price and minus the strike price times the E exponential, right? And remember the E we have? What's the number? Do you remember the number for E? Okay. Do you remember E is equal to 2.718?
Yes.
Okay, good. So it's you need to keep that in mind at 2.718. So the pi is a 3.14. Most of the students know that. Okay, but we also, we need to know the number for E. Okay, 2.718. In Excel, you can do as equal to exponential using this one. Okay, ASP, then you type the number. Okay, that's E. Okay, so in Excel. So you look at that, we apply that formula so you can calculate the value of the call. Okay, the value of the call is the value you can, based on the formula, so you calculate. Okay. So this is the call option, the value of the call option. We also have the, you have to calculate the value of the put option. The value of the put option is different. So it's a different formula. I mean the different formula. So in the final exam, so we're gonna have the question ask you calculate the value of a put option. Of course, I will give you the formula. But what you need to do is that you need to work on the black shoes model, okay, black shoes model, and to calculate the value of the call and the value of the put option, and to practice using Excel spreadsheet. Okay, so in that option pricing, we have the 2 steps. Okay, the 2 steps model. So you have 1 step and 2 step, right? So we have 2 steps, and I give you practice question on that 2 steps. And also in the final exam, we will have the black shoes model. So basically, that's very important for your preparation of the final exam. And so, any questions?
No.
No.
Okay, good. So on Wednesday, so my plan is going to go the interest rate. Okay, and so before we talk about that, and I want you to review the concept of duration. Okay, and the convexity. In that chapter 9. Okay, chapter 9, you see how to calculate the duration and the convexity. So this is the discussion question for this week. So week 11. Okay. For those general questions, what is the labor OS spread, something, those kind of question, okay, it's a pretty straightforward. You can find those questions on the textbook, okay. So the discussion 2 is that's the one you need to work on, okay. So 5-year bond with 11% continuous compound and pay 8% coupon rate. What's the bond price of bond duration? Remember in your previous class, like corporate finance, we do not use continuous compounding. So you can calculate the bond price. Is a semi-annual compounding, that's it. But here, so it's going to be continuous compounding. And also the bond duration. So what is that? You know, how you calculate the bond duration, how to apply the duration. Okay, so this is, and also we wanted to talk about a little bit about this, how to estimate volatility. Okay, any questions?
No, sir.
Okay, good. So make sure, so you type your name, and when you click on the chat, so on the chat button, so type your name. So I will see you on Wednesday. Okay. Know to send me email, and so I know where you are. So that's really important during this difficult time. So I wanted to keep touch with everybody, and to you know, to we have wanted to have a very good communication during this period of time. Okay, good. So now I will end the meeting. So post the link on Blackboard for if you still wanted to go over the lectures. Okay, see you on Wednesday.